welcome as we journey back again, another Saturday night. That means it's another Resurrection 80s. My name's Gary Thull. This is Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative as we flash back to that amazing decade. Request line 1551 Alt 361. That's 1-551-258-3601. DM on Instagram, Resurrection Nation. Twitter, Resurrection NAT. My email, Gary at alt360.live. And follow live tonight on alt360.live. So let's go back 1980. He had co-founded in the 70s Asylum Records, had sold it to Warner Brothers, and then for about 5 seconds was working for Warner Brothers in their film division. That didn't go very well. Back to the music side of Warner Brothers and worked out a deal with them where he could launch his own record label, a brand new label called Geffen Records. That was 1980. The deal was a 5-year, $5 million upfront deal. Well, the first 5 years, hits and misses, but mainly misses with the label. It wasn't turning a profit. Came back to around 1984, 1985, time to re-up. And David offered Warner Brothers, hey, let's do another 5 years and another $5 million. Warner balked at the money. David said, that's fine. Give me another 5 years. After those 5 years, I get back the 50% of the label that you own, and I own it completely. Warner made the bad mistake of saying yes to that because shortly thereafter, Geffen Records released albums by Aerosmith, Whitesnake, Cher, Guns N' Roses, and this guy. From the So album, Peter Gabriel kicks off Resurrection 80s. This is Big Time.
Hi there. I'm on my way, I'm making it. I've got to make it go, yeah. So much larger than life. I'm gonna work it, grow it. The place where I come from is a small town. Think it's so small, think it's small world. But not me, I'm smarter than that. I worked it out. I've been fixing my mouth to let those big words come right out. I've had enough, I'm getting out to the city, big city. I'll be a big noise with all the big boys, so much stuff I belong. And I will pray to a big God, 'cause I need the big church. I'm on my way, I'm making it. I got to make it show, yeah.
Tune in with your smart speaker and the TuneIn Radio app. Just say, "Hey Alexa, play Alt 360."
Alt 360 Radio, playing all degrees of alternative.
This is Resurrection 80s with me, Gary Thull, on Alt 360, playing all degrees of 80s alternative.
It's Resurrection 80s with Gary Thull.
Well, what if there is no tomorrow? There wasn't one today.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative. This is Resurrection 80s.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Those times I waited for you seem so long ago. I wanted you far too much to ever let you go. You know you never got my outfitted too, and I guess I never could stand to lose. It's such a pity to say goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Could I ever love someone like the one I've seen in you? I remember the good times, baby, now, and the bad times too. These last few weeks of holding on, the days are long, the nights are long. Guess it's better to say goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. It's over now. No need to talk about it. It's not the same. My love for you just not the same. Oh my heart can't stand the strain. And my love won't stand the pain. And my heart can't stand the Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Now could I ever love someone like the one I see in you? Yeah, I remember the good times, baby, now, and the bad times too. These last few weeks of holding on, the days are long, the nights are long. Guess it's better to say goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Goodbye, baby.
Patty Smythe and her band Scandal and Goodbye to You, track number 4, side A of Resurrection 80s on this good Saturday evening. A Flock of Seagulls from Dreams Come True and Who's That Girl? She's Got It. Essentially a Mike Score solo album. That was really a Flock of Seagulls at the end of their 80s run, at least. Gary Newman and Cars from the Pleasure Principle and Mr. Peter Gabriel and Big Time got us going big time on the Saturday night. Don't forget, SoundCloud, Mixcloud. You can search Alt 360 on either of those apps and check out the show anytime, on demand, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. It's on your time, and that goes for all the shows here on Alt 360. Love and Rockets, Ball of Confusion. Let's continue. This is Resurrection 80s.
And this is Resurrection 80s with Gary Thull on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Valley Girl motion picture soundtrack, Gary Myrick and the Figures, and She Talks in Stereo. A guy who, through his career, really was except for that song, was kind of in the background. Joined a band called Crackerjack back in the day, replacing on guitar a dude who had just left the band. Oh, his name? Stevie Ray Vaughan. So Gary's legit when it comes to his guitar. Was with the band for a little bit, split, went to L.A., formed that band, Gary Myrick and the Figures, had that tune in 1980, released their self-titled debut album, had a few more albums in the 1980s, and then started writing and recording with other people. Most notably, he wrote Missing You by John Waite in the early 80s. In the early 90s, he formed the band Havana 3 AM with Paul Simeon of The Clash and Nigel Dixon of Whirlwind. They only released one album, and then Gary went back to touring and session work. He's worked over the years with like Big Audio Dynamite, Jackson Browne, the Eagles, Wilson Pickett even. 9 Inch Nails and Head Like a Hole before that, Love and Rockets and Ball of Confusion. This band's on tour right now. They'll be in West St. Paul, Minnesota. Such a strange place. The Turf Club coming up Tuesday night. Then they move on to Evanston, Illinois. They'll play Summerfest coming up September 3rd. You can check out bandsintown.com or modernenglish.com. From After the Snow, I Melt With You. It's Modern English, side A of Resurrection 80s. This is Alt 360.
Moving forward, using all my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing all around your face. Never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I won't do. I'll stop the world and melt with you. Dream of better life, the kind which never hates. Trapped in a state of imaginary grace. I made a pilgrimage to save this human race. Never comprehending the race had long gone by. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing new and I won't do. I'll stop the world and melt with you. The future's open wide. The
This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole.
I hope you don't mind me coming over and sitting down. But I've been watching you all evening. And I want to tear you apart. And your friend, too.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative. From ABC to XTC, it's Resurrection 80s on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can watch you weave and breathe your storylines. And I wear my sunglasses at night so I can keep track of the visions in my eyes. While she's deceiving me, cuts my security. Has she got control of me? I turn to her and say, don't push the blade on the guy and say, oh no. Don't masquerade with the guy and say, oh no. I can't believe it. She's got a man with the guy and says, oh no. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can forget my name while you collect your claim. And I wear my sunglasses at night so I can see the light that's right before my eyes. While she's deceiving me, she cuts my security. She got control of me. I turn to her and say, don't push the blade on the guy and say, oh no. Don't masquerade with the guy and say, oh no. I can't believe it. Don't be afraid of the guy and say, oh no. It can't escape you 'cause you got it made with the guy and say, oh no.
A pinup that wrote great pop music for himself, wrote a lot of other stuff for a lot of other people as well. Corey Hart, Sunglasses at Night, Bow Wow Wow, and I Want Candy from their Live at Wembley live album. It's Level 42 and Lessons in Love and Modern English, and I'm Out With You, along with Gary Toole in that set. Side A of your mixtape. If you're a fan of this band, check out their website. They have a 12-inch vinyl singles collector's edition that's going to continue with Ultra, the 12-inch singles. That'll be released September 10th. Depeche Mode boxsets.com. So they have Speak and Spell, 12-inch singles. That's still available. A Broken Heart, Construction Time Again, Some Great Reward, Black Celebration, Music for the Masses. These are all albums with the 12-inch singles that you can buy right now. Violator sold out, of course. Songs of Faith and Devotion is on there as well. Check out Depeche Mode boxsets.com for details on it. Construction Time Again, it's Depeche Mode and Love in Itself. This is Resurrection Nation, and this is Alt 360, playing all degrees of 80s alternative.
laughing, laugh, the lane store for me. There was a time when all of my mind was love. Now I find that most of the time love's not enough in itself. We are the tendency to be unhappy. You see the thoughts in my head, all the words that we said, all the blues and the reds get to me. There was a time when all of my mind was love. Now I find that most of the time love's not enough in itself. All these absurdities that lay before us, all the doubts and uncertainties that lay before us. There was a time when all of my mind was love. Now I find that most of the time love's not enough in itself.
Whether it's from vinyl, 8-track, cassette, or CD, celebrating the decade of 80s alternative. This is Resurrection 80s on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
All we ever wanted was everything. All we ever got was cold. Get up, eat jelly, sandwich bars and barbed wire. Squash every week into a day. of the drum has called. Flash of you shoot out of darkness back to town.
So much. The sky's gone out with Bauhaus, and all we ever wanted was everything. A second Brooklyn show has been added to Bauhaus. They're on tour. It'll be November 3rd at King's Theater in Brooklyn. Of course, they'll be part of the Cruel World Fest coming up in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl May of next year. That show is going to be ridiculous. Morrissey, Bauhaus headlining, Blondie, Devo, Echo and the Bunnymen, The Furs, The Violent Femmes, The Church, The English Beat, Public Image Limited, The Damned, somebody else, Gene Loves Jezebel, Berlin, Missing Persons, somebody else in there, I just cannot remember. But remember that, May 14th and 15th of next year, Cruel World Fest up at the Rose Bowl. Depeche Mode and Love in Itself, and my name is Gary Toole, and that is the first hour of Resurrection 80s. Another hour to go. Let me know what you want to hear. Song suggestions. Studio line 1-551-0361. That's 1-551-258-3601. The Gram. We are Resurrection Nation. You can follow and like and DM a request there. Tweet, Twitter, Resurrection NAT. Please follow and like and retweet. And then we're Gary at alt360.live is the email. Side B of your mixtape, Living Color and Cult of Personality. This is Resurrection 80s.
Please flip the cassette over to side B to continue the adventure.
Only you can set me free.
shame.
The Lion and the Cobra was her debut album from it, Mandinka. And Sinead O'Connor announcing Sinead O'Connor So Far, the best of. It's going to be part of this year's National Album Day in UK, celebrating women in music, and it'll be out in vinyl for the very first time. Mark the date on the calendar, October 16th. And then next year, she's going to go on tour. Well, kind of. She's going to be playing city wineries, so she'll be a little drinky-drinky and performing as well. A Woman After My Own Heart. April 14th, 15th, and 17th of next year, she'll be at City Winery in New York City. April 21st, 22nd, and 24th, City Winery in Boston. May 13th and 14th at City Winery in Philly. And then May 17th, 18th, and the 20th at City Winery in Chicago. She's going to do a little European tour, very short one, June 19th in Cork, Ireland. She has a date in the Netherlands, and then she wraps it up July 24th in Galway, Ireland, and then back to the City Winery tours in the fall. SineadO'Connor.com is the website you want to hit up for more details on that. Sting recently had a great conversation on songwriting with Chris Difford from Squeeze, part of Chris's brand new podcast, I Never Thought It Would Happen. Stuart Copeland last night was in concert here in San Diego with the San Diego Symphony. He has a date coming up September 11th in Cleveland, and then the Buffalo Philharmonic on April 30th. And Andy, not to be outdone by the other guys, just recently did an interview. So the Police, speaking of Squeeze, back in the day, the Police and Squeeze go way back, but they took over the tour bus that Squeeze had. They played CBGB's, and guess what? They recorded it, and it's album worthy, and they're going to be releasing it very soon. From Zenyatta Bendata, it's the Police and Canary in a Coal Mine. This is Resurrection 80s.
Check out Resurrection 80s on demand anytime on either Mixcloud or SoundCloud. Download either app, search Alt 360, and then pick what show you'd like to listen to whenever and wherever you are. This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Wide waves on an ocean, gems from a gold could give you more than just the shape of things. Break every word, begin it all again. Rolling on a white sheet, you're laid sharp with passion. But as love lies bleeding in your hand, heaven sends you promises of a rainbow night. No waves on an ocean, no gems from a golden age. In your new world, turning round and round. Some make some sense where there's no sense at all. I give you no promises, but if you should fall, no promises, but if you should fall, no promises, but if you should fall.
This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole.
Top of the sixth, and rookie sensation Ricky Vaughn on the pitch now. Vaughn, a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut. Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
Down where this ugly man seeks his sustenance, down in the blue midnight glare, a lifetime through the water, sliding into his twisted river. Then I got spring fire, lights breathing life into a roaring sky. Needles senses the needles, see something forever in the waste well. Just to run factories on gases, hang around the healing shop, and turn around the healing shop. Shadows, sides of make-believe, punches through his fire of rage. A in the water, snuffing out the magic you're ready. There's no side guy, oh lightning right.
Request a song by emailing Gary at alt360.live. DM through Instagram at Resurrection Nation or tweet on Twitter at Resurrection NAT. This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative. It's Resurrection 80s.
May I help you, Dr.
Oh, it's me, Dr. Rosenpenis. I'm just here to check out Stanwick's file. Dr. Rosen, and I'm here to get to the records room. It's Dr. Rosen. I want to check the records room. It's Dr. Rosen.
On Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
But nobody wants to tell
Of course, I'm going to play a Fletch sweeper going into Dan Hartman's Fletch Get Out of Town from Fletch, the soundtrack from back in the day with Chevy Chase. It's Dan Hartman and Fletch Get Out of Town. Side B of Resurrection 80s. Of course, the new Fletch is coming out, Confess Fletch, the name of it, with John Hamm as Fletch. It's either going to be really good or absolutely shit. There's going to be no gray area. This is the synopsis on IMDb. After becoming the prime suspect in multiple murders, Fletch strives to prove his innocence while simultaneously searching for his fiance's stolen art collection. We'll see. It's in post-production, no release date yet. I'm hoping for the best, but expecting the worst is what they say. Scritti Politti in Perfect Way, Susie and the Banshees in The Killing Jar, some Ice House, and No Promises, The Police, Canary in a Coal Mine, along with Gary Toole. Song suggestions, studio line 1-551-0361. That's 1-551-258-3601. Instagram, Resurrection Nation. Twitter, Resurrection NAT. Email Gary at alt360.live. A tune I don't think they could get away with these days with the PC crowd. Dum Dum Girl, it's Talk Talk. It's on Resurrection 80s.
From Depeche Mode to Yaz to Erasure, it's Resurrection 80s on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
the military to step down the neck of my neck. I wanna go home. I don't want to stay. Give up education is about a mistake. Midweek on the playing field, to watch your knees, knees you were born, elbow in the face. Bruises bigger than dinner plates. I wanna go home. I don't wanna stay. German blues run Manchester through, spineless bastard dog. So is the truth, jealous of you, same old joke since 92. It is the military to step down the nape of my neck. I wanna go home, I don't want to stay. Give up life as a bad mistake. Please excuse me from Jim. I got this terrible cold coming on. He grabs and devours. He kicks me in the shower. Kicks me in the shower and grabs and devours. I want to go home. I don't want to stay.
This is Resurrection 80s with Gary Toole on Alt 360, playing all degrees of alternative.
will be a cliche, but I had a huge crush on their bass player, Steve Slack, back in the day. During the song was checking out, I don't know if that's the video or just them performing in concert, but it's on Apple Music, and yeah, I wasn't wrong. He was a hottie back in the day. UK Subs, then Warhead, The Smiths, Headmaster Ritual, and Talk Talk. So his brand new album is called Gotta Have the Rumble. That's available right now. And last year, Brian set up his first official Reverb shop. I had to look that up. I didn't know what that was. It's sort of like eBay to a degree, or Amazon kind of, but for your individual brand. And he's selling his guitars. If you're a guitar fan, check this out, reverb.com or the Reverb app. And I'm going to guess, just search Brian Setzer. Brian Lee and Slim Jim, it's the Stray Cats and Stray Cats Strut as we continue on Resurrection 80s.
With my tail in the air, stray cat strut, I'm a feeling Casanova. Hey man, that's time. Get a shoe thrown at me from a mean old man. Get my dinner from a garbage can. Yeah, don't cross my path. And I got cat style. And I got cat style.
Tune in with your smart speaker and the TuneIn Radio app. Just say, "Hey Alexa, play Alt 360."
Alt 360 Radio, playing all degrees of alternative.
This is Resurrection 80s with me, Gary Thull, on Alt 360, playing all degrees of 80s alternative. From Floppy Imperfection. I always love the name of that album. China Crisis and King in a Catholic Style. Surprising that they would name that album that, because their first album, Working with Fire and Steel, it was kind of pretentious with some of the titles to the songs, so it's kind of funny that they were self-deprecating with that. Debbie Harry, French Kissing in the USA. Such a great 80s song. Stray Cat Strut with the Stray Cats. UK Subs, The Smiths. Talk Talk and Dum Dum Girl. Dan Hartman, Scritti Politti, Susie and the Banshees. Ice House, The Police. Sinead O'Connor, and Living Color. That is side B of your mixtape for tonight. My name's Gary Thull, and we are done for the weekend, too. Have a great rest of your weekend. Back for Monday for Resurrection Nation. Otherwise, back next Saturday for another fun-filled 2 hours. This duo, named George and Shannon, had success early in the 80s writing for Whitney Houston. They wrote How Will I Know and I Want to Dance with Somebody. Not bad. 2 great hits from Whitney. And then they wrote this song called Waiting for the Star to Fall. And they actually presented it to Clive Davis from Arista Records, the boss of Whitney Houston. And he turned it down. They thought, well, yeah, he'll want to record this. The other 2 hits were big hits, so this is a hit. Well, they didn't. They then moved on to Belinda Carlisle, who actually recorded it, but then at the last moment decided, I'm not going to put it on my record. So it went back to them. They recorded it and had a huge hit with it. So let's wrap up the show. Boy Meets Girl. This is Waiting for a Star to Fall. Have a great rest of your weekend. This is Resurrection 80s, and this is Alt 360.